Hello everybody, Sebastian here from Valley Mage Games, and in this video I am going to teach you how to play Sealed with Runeslingers. So Sealed is probably one of my favorite formats, and it's very simple. You take 6 booster packs for each player and give them to the players. Players open the booster packs and then make a 30 card deck out of any of the cards that are in their 6 packs, and then you run a tournament. And if you're using a full booster box with 4 players, then you will have 1 box topper left, and you can use that box topper as prize support for the event. So what I generally recommend is that once you open the booster box, just give it a good shuffle. And then once the packs are shuffled, then everyone is ready to go. So I'm just going to run through what I would do in a sealed event and how I would go about building my deck. So I'm going to open these up really quickly and just see what we get inside. Okay, so got Chaos Fire, Bloodthorn, Barrier, Convert, Rage, that's a great card. Curse of Blast, Flash X, which is a really good card. And I'm gonna kind of divide these out in such a way that I know what I'm going to be playing based on the card pool that I have. So I'm going to try and keep my utility cards kind of on the left here, my damage cards maybe about here, and then the equip cards are not going to be of much use to me. So I'm just going to continue going through the list here. Open these packs. Let's see, we got Crush, Cursed Tome, Cyclotic Push, Death Mark, Restore, Rupture, Purify X. Okay, so let's see. I think Restore will probably go into the maybe pile here. And let's see what else we got from this pack. Rupture can also be quite good. So that allows me to remove 3 of my ailments and then apply all those ailments to target Runeslinger. And for removal, Cursed Tome is really good. So you put Cursed Tome into play, and then at the end of 2 turns, so you have 1 turn and then another of your turns, and at the end of that second turn, it allows you to destroy any card that is a defense card in play, which can be very, very useful. So let's get into the next pack here. And that guy open. Okay, so we've got a boon here, which is good because I always like to run 3 boons. That's kind of how I recommend people should play. 4 is a bit too many, and I do find that 2 is a bit low. Inter is really good. Debilitate can be very, very difficult to deal with if you're not prepared to have 4 debilitating elements on you. Rage, really, really good. That bumps up your attack rune spells. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, if I do get some more attack rune spells, I should consider playing with those. I have another Rainbow Dart, which is great. It allows me to apply ailments. And Flash X, again, crazy good card late game. So that applies 3 burn ailments, and the target discards their hand, or the target sears cards equal to their health. So at the end of the game, like let's say the enemy Runeslinger has, I don't know, 15 or 16 health left and they're at 1 power. You can either make them sear 15 or apply 3 burns and they discard their hand. Both of those options are equally bad, so that's a great card to sort of finish out the game. So I'm going to go onto pack 4. Let's get that open there. Now these can be a little bit tricky. Just sometimes the tabs can be a little bit hard to open depending on how cut they are, but eventually you'll get them. There we go. And just open it this way. And let's see what we got here. Jar of Slugs, definitely playing that. Instantly know that's a good card. Let's see what else. Oh, another Rupture. That could be good for dealing with ailments. Scuttle is awesome removal. Inter applies debilitate ailments, which is also really good. So I think I'm going to take Head Crush. So we've got a lot of ailments in our pool here. So D-Shot applies ailments. All of these cards apply ailments, which can be really good. So I think we're going to build a more ailment-focused deck here. Let's just see what we get in our last 2 packs, but that's where things are starting to lean for me. And then these up. These alpha packs are, they're great, but they're a little bit thick. And when we do our second printing, we're gonna make the packaging slightly thinner, so it's a little bit easier to open. Let's go through these. Okay, wow, all right, wow, that was a really good pack. Okay, so definitely gonna be playing Pressure Point, because that forces my opponent to void cards, deals direct damage that can't be blocked. Enlighten is pretty good too. That allows me to search for a curio or an armor trinket, and since we're going to be running this Wretched Cloak that I picked up, I'm definitely going to put that in. Plutonic Spike, great, allows me to deal 10 damage to any target, and then also remove the defense of a defense card, at least for the turn. Power Drain, that is a great card removal option. And then Viper Strike X actually in this deck can be very good. So Viper Strike X deals 10 damage to target Runeslinger. And if the damage hits a Runeslinger, the target loses 1 health for each ailment on them. And then if the target has 10 or more ailments, I get to shuffle Viper Strike X into my deck, which can be extremely good. And since I'm not playing a lot of attack rune spells, I don't know that Rage is the best option. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably play Entropy for offense. I'll play 1 Holy Flame and 1 Rage right now, depending on what I get in my last pack. And I think that's it for that. Let's see what we get in our last pack. Chaos Fire, I think that's a pretty good card. Another Bloodthorn, awesome. Another Barrier. Silence, definitely want to be playing Silence. Skybolt, I will definitely play Skybolt. Slow Death, let's see here. Okay, Taunt X, also going to play Taunt X because that also applies ailments. And Smelt is another great chant. So that allows me to basically deal 4 damage to any target every turn on my turn. And let's see here. So Font of Ash X is interesting. So when it's destroyed, if I own it, I can set a card from my hand as a concentration. And then if I do, target Runeslinger loses 2 health for each concentration I control. And if I have 5, they're going to lose 10 health. Now, this can be good because I can destroy it with my own boon. So how that would work is if I had, let's say, Rage in my hand, and I had Font of Ash X on an ailment I control, I could play Rage on my Font of Ash X, destroying it, triggering its on destroy effect and getting the effect. So I think I'm going to try and run that and just see how it goes. Now, we didn't get a whole lot of other options for applying ailments, but we also did get an Iron Wall, which can be really good. And I think we might have gotten another one. I just want to double check. So I'm just going to do a final review of the cards that I picked up and see if there's anything else that I might want to put in the deck. Let's see here. Now, Cyclotic Push can actually be very good too. So this allows me to destroy all boons, and each Runeslinger loses 5 health for each boon they control that was destroyed by this effect. Now, if I'm playing a lot of ailments, chances are my opponent will be playing boons, and this is a good way at the end of the game to maybe remove those boons and deal some damage to them. So that's a maybe for me. Now, Barrier is good. It allows me to get block, but I'm not playing a block deck, so that won't be very helpful to me. And the Wretched Cloak, which I have access to with Enlighten, gives me +2 armor. So I think a Convert in this deck could actually be pretty good. And I can remove all of my ailments with Purify X for 1. I think I'll probably put that in the deck because I didn't get a Warcry, which would have been my preference. So I'm just going to look through here, and I think that's it. So let's count how many cards we have right now, and then we'll see what we need to fill in. So we've got 5, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Okay, we need to get rid of 6. So that's going to make things fairly easy for us. So Bloodthorns are great. Applying Insanity is fairly nasty because it makes sure that, you know, the opponent can't do anything too combo-y to us because they're always at risk of discarding one of their combo pieces to Insanity. So in terms of cards to get rid of, I think I'm going to drop, let's see here, what do we not need? I don't think we need the Font of Ash X. I don't think that will work particularly in this deck. We really do want those ailment cards. That's kind of the core of our deck, so we don't want to get rid of those. Let's maybe look in here and see if there's anything that we don't necessarily need. So the Restore is good, the Cursed Tome is good. I don't want to get rid of any of these really, but maybe I'll drop the Power Drain just because I do have access to Fragment ailments, so I could kill their defense cards that way. And the Convert I definitely want to keep. So now we need to get rid of 5 more cards. So let's see here. I think Enlighten might be worth dropping, so I'll get rid of the Enlighten. I only think 1 Flash X is necessary, so that's 3 cards. I believe we got rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, so now we only need to get rid of 2 more. So just looking at what we have here, the Chaos Fire is good because it deals direct damage to any target. That's removal in my opinion, so any defense card that's got 6 or less, this can get rid of. It also has Shout Speed, which can be very useful, so I'm not sure I want to get rid of that. Skybolt is great for draw power. And I think the Smelt might be a little slow in this deck, so we'll get rid of that. And I think we only need, that might be, just maybe 1 more. So let me do a final count here. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay, we need to drop 1 more card. And I think I'm definitely going to keep the Cursed Tome because that's that removal I need. So it's a tough choice, but probably the Recursive Blast. I just don't think that 6 damage is going to be worth it over the other cards that I could draw. So now that I've kind of put my deck together, I need to start thinking about which Runeslinger I'm going to play, which would be best paired with the choices I've made here for my deck. So I'm playing ailments very clearly. This is an ailment deck. So I'm going to play Hera. And now I have to choose an ability. So there are a couple of really good choices here. I can shuffle my hand into my deck and return 2 Hexmancer cards I control to my hand. But I don't really have a lot of Hexmancer cards. My ailments are kind of spread between all classes. So that's not necessarily a good choice. And I think probably I'll end up playing Toxic Touch. So that allows me to apply 2 ailments to target Runeslinger and then remove an ailment from them. And because it only costs 1 determination, I can use it up to 4 times in a game. So Toxic Touch is going to be my ability, and now I have to choose my stance. Now the stance choice becomes a little bit more complex because there are a lot of really, really, really good things I can pick here. So Hyperglacia is very good, so when an enemy has no empty ailment slots that enemy Runeslinger has, when you sling a rune spell, you lose 4 health. So let's say, for example, all their ailment slots are full, and every time they sling a rune spell, they have to lose 4 health. So that can add up pretty quickly. Wicked Luck is really only for Insanity decks. And this applies Insanity, but not that many. And then this is good too. Potent Toxins at the end of an enemy Runeslinger's turn. If they have 4 more ailments, they lose 4 health. I think I'm going to go with Potent Toxins just because I think that's a little more likely to happen. So that's it. That's my deck. I think that's a pretty good ailment deck. It could be better. I think we got a little bit unlucky with some of the Exalted cards. We got a Silence, but no Silence X, which would have been the preference. But despite what we drafted, I think that this is going to be a fairly competitive deck. So I hope that gave you an idea of what it will look like if you're playing a sealed event and you're putting together a sealed deck and some of the sort of options that are available to you. Because of Runeslingers' ability to combine any type or class of card that you get together, sealed is extremely easy to put together, and you can fairly consistently build really good decks. All right, thanks everyone. In the next video, I'm going to upload some gameplay of a sealed event, and that's going to be on webcam. So we're each going to take 6 packs, open them up on webcam, build a deck, and then play each other and see how it goes.